Hi everybody, welcome. I am here with a really fun project for us today. So my name is Pam. I'm a guest designer for Pink Monarch Prints. I am with Silver and Sparkles, and if you enjoy the project and like what you see, I hope you'll check out my YouTube channel as well. All right, so let me show you what we're gonna make. It is a one-page folio. So I made this little folio that I'm going to show you how to make with one piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. I did print mine on both sides. And I'll show you, if you choose not to print yours on both sides, you'll just have a couple of sections that are white, but that's it. And that would work too. You could decorate. So I collaged on the front, and then when you open it up, there's a little tuck spot here, and there's actually little tuck spots here if you wanted to even put something, over on that side, you could. So a couple options for you. Let's see, there's a pocket here and a pocket here. I put some little pieces of ephemera, and then I made some tags. There's big open pocket, two of them in the back, and I did little thumb notches there so you can see them. And then there's also another little pocket right in front of them that's tall. So I've made little things. Let's count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just count those each as one. So 8 pockets. Super cool. Or 6 pockets and 2 tuck spots. All right. So I made these using Pink Monarch Prints Harvest Bloom paper, some papers from that kit. And then I used some fussy cuts and little pieces of ephemera from the green add-on kit. And they're both available in their Etsy shop. So I'm sure all of that will be linked for you in the description of the video. All right, so let's get started and make one of these together. And I just, of course, closed mine just with a loose ribbon, which is optional. Okay, so to start with, you need a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. And like I said, I printed mine on both sides just because I like to have a design in the parts that you're going to see through. But if you want to do yours, just print it on one side. Like I said, it would work. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is fold your paper in half as neat as you can. And my mom, who was the first grade teacher, called this hot dog style. So long ways, okay? Now, I printed mine on a 90-pound weight cardstock. You don't want it to be too heavy or it's kind of hard to fold, but it would even work with copy weight paper. It just wouldn't be quite as sturdy. All right. All right. Then you're going to fold it in half again. So now you get nice crisp folds. You folded it in half and in half again. So open it up. I'm going to ink this fold line for you guys so you can see what I'm doing next. And I like a little distress ink in my project, so it's going to fit right in when I start inking everything else. All right, now we're going to take both sides. So I'm going to start with the right-hand side, and we're going to fold it over just almost to the fold line, but not quite. You want to leave enough room so that when you fold your folio, everything folds up nicely. Okay, so you don't want to go over or too close to that line. And then do the same thing with the other side. Almost to the fold line. Okay. Now, with cardstock, you'll see not everything is absolutely perfect. It's okay because of how we're going to work with this. You're not even going to see that. Those are going to be folded down. All right, so the next thing you want to do is open your paper all the way up. And then we are going to do a little bit of cutting, and it's not hard, but I'm going to, again, ink so you can see where I'm at. Where we are going to cut 2 little rectangles out is when you hold your paper, it's going to be on the flap that if your fold line is down here, it's the flap that folds up. And so when I unfold it, it looks like the section that's on the top, if that helps. Now, I suggest you get out your ruler, and I am going to measure a 1/2 inch and use my pencil from this edge down. So I'm going to mark it at a 1/2 inch in a couple of spots. I know you probably can't see those marks, but I'm just doing 3 little 1/2 inch marks. And then we're going to draw a line. If I can see my marks I made, I was being so careful not to make them too dark. Right up to this score line that I inked. So that's a 1/2 inch section, because we are going to cut that section out. And we're going to do the same thing with this corner, with this section. So again, I'm marking it at a 1/2 inch so I can get a nice straight line. And then we're going to cut it out. And this section is going to be cut out. And that one does not look the same. 1/2 inch. That's because I did 3/4 inch on this section. All right, it will work with 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. So I'm going to go down. So when we say, Houston, we have a problem. And I'm going to do mine at 3/4 inch. I'm going to look at this one. This one, I did this one at 3/4 inch too. So there you go. 3/4 inch, ladies. All this is doing is showing us how tall this pocket is going to be. Okay. All right. I hope it didn't confuse you. So I've drawn my lines, and now we are going to cut these sections out. So I'm going to go just a little smidge, slightly to the right of that line I drew. And then I'm going to cut out the fold. So where it had been inked. So that little piece that's a little, where the fold had been is cut out of our project. So same thing. I'm going to cut out the crease line and then cut just over the line I drew so that we have 2 nice little triangles cut out. All right. Now I chose to round these corners so that this pocket has a rounded corner. That's optional, but let's go ahead and do that. If you've got a 1/4 rounder, I'm using the 1/2 inch size, and we're going to just chop it on both. Okay. Now at this point, I do like to do some inking because it's a little bit easier to do the inking before we start putting everything together. So if you like your project to be inked, this is the time to do it. I'm using the Tim Holtz Distress Ink in Walnut Stain. I like brown, vintagey looking inks for a project like this. Now there is another punch we're going to make. And the way to figure that piece out is it's going to be on these 2 panels. I like doing a little thumb notch with my circle punch for this pocket. So this is the tall pocket back here in the back. Okay. So it's much easier, again, to punch this now before we start gluing together, and then we can ink. So I'm going to just eyeball the center for each of these and punch them out. If you want to, go ahead and measure if you want to make sure they're exactly centered. But I decided to just do the eyeball method. All right, those are going to be those pockets. All right, this is looking cute. The rest of the inking around all the edges and things can always happen if you want more later. I just definitely wanted to get this edge inked so that when we glue it together, everything will look great. All right, so now flip this over. And then what you're gonna do, no wait, don't flip it over. I'm sorry. Leave it the way it was. Fold these in. and then it's going to fold in half, and that's your folio. What we do now is we're going to take this, each of these corners. So let's start with the right one. Take the corner, and you're just going to fold it over, just like that. See the polka dots? So if you don't print on both sides of your paper, the only part that shows what's printed on the other side is this pocket here, the edge of it, this flap, and then the little pieces if you decide to do the thumb notch. So if it's white and that doesn't bother you, just leave it. You can always add a decoration or something on there, and you're going to have little tags and things tucked in here. Okay? So now that's it. Let me show you how we're going to glue it together. So I'm going to use just a wet white glue. And the first section that I like to glue is this pocket. So I'm going to open it up, and we're going to add glue to this side and this edge here. So just right along the bottom, a thin bead, and then right along this side. Fold it over. And just make sure you don't, your glue doesn't ooze out too much and glue your little folio together. That's the first pocket. Then let's open up and do the next page as well. Goodness. So along this edge, and then right along the bottom to the score line. Bring it over. Okay. Now, I just want to glue both of these down as well. So I'm just going to lifting up, and again, adding glue. I hope you guys can see that. Just right to that edge to glue that pocket closed. And same thing on the other side. Very easy. Now for your little tuck spots, so like I said, you can tuck from the side or from the bottom. I just put a dot of glue right on those corners, and then that leaves it open. If you want them to be a little more snug, once you decide what you're going to tuck in there, like if you're going to put this little ticket in here and you want this pocket a little more snug, you could add a little more glue, but I like leaving it open, and especially until I know what I'm going to do. All right, so let's see what we've got. We have our pockets back here, nice big deep pockets. We have the pockets that are on that layer, those two. And you want to be neat with your glue, because if you come over too much, that'll make that pocket even more narrow. And then you have this nice pocket, right? And then we have our tuck spots. It's a fun little one-page wonder. All right, so now I'm going to decorate. And so this was the Harvest Bloom papers. And then when I saw this green add-on kit with all the different pieces of ephemera, I thought this is going to be fun. So I've cut some of them out, not all of them. I'm looking for some pieces so we can just make a little collage-y kind of cluster on the front that will look pretty. So I haven't planned that out, but I did this one with a flower and a circle. I have a feeling I'm going to want a butterfly on the front of this one because I just love butterflies. So let's just see what that might look like. Yeah. So I like odd numbers with my little clusters or collages. So this is 3. This one was 3. It depends on what you're doing, but I just think that looks good. So you can use any of the pieces. They all coordinate so well together, which is so fun with the different little pieces. Okay, and I'm going to put a butterfly down. So whichever you choose for the front of your little folio, I'm sure will be super cute. Because I'm going to do that loose ribbon closure for mine. You know, I'm not adding like a piece of ribbon or lace, but you could do that too. You could add that to your cluster. So, and now I have to decide, do I want to leave it at 3 or do we want to go to 5 pieces, right? Like, do we want to be super extra? And that's kind of cute. I like getting these little diamonds in here. So let's see. Let's see if we want to. And maybe some numbers. Ooh, that's too big, I think. Probably could have just left well enough alone, right? But we'll do it. I'm going to just, ooh, how about this number 2? Let's see what this looks like. Get another circle in there. All right, I'm going to do it. Sometimes I will sit for quite a while when I'm especially working on covers. But, you know, I'm going to just kind of wing it today. All right, there we go. Very cute. And then on the inside, I'm pretty sure on this one, I put something on each of those little tuck spots, and then I just made the little tags to go inside. So let's see what I've already cut out that we can hopefully use. I was thinking one of these tickets would be cute to tuck in there. And I've got some of these kinds of labels that can go. Maybe we'll even do a couple of them. Okay, and then on the pocket itself, what do I want to do? I think I want a little color. So there's also like these little strips, and I always kind of think of these as like little faux washi strips because it's just like a little patterned piece of paper that adds all kinds of funness to our projects. Let's put that there, and maybe this one. I love the shape of this little tag. I don't know why. I just think he's super cute. And I'm kind of breaking my rule because I said I like doing odd numbers, and I think I'm going to leave this with just 2 little pieces. But we'll see. Maybe we'll add something extra in a minute. And then on this side, maybe, I don't know, maybe a bumblebee? Yeah, I'll just have the little leaf and the little feet of the bee hanging off of the tuck spot. And it'll be protected because it's on the inside. Let's see, which way does it go? I was thinking like that, but now it looks like maybe it's this way. I'm going to turn it at an angle. So again, I'm going to leave a little bit of the bee and a little bit of the flower hanging off. So I'm going to be careful with my glue placement because I do not want to glue my pocket or my tuck spot closed. So I always kind of double check we're still okay. All right, cute. Yeah, I like that. Now for the pockets, the large ones in the back, the size that I made in the one that I made to show you guys in the demo was 2.5 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall. So it fit all the way down in the pocket, and then whatever I topped it with is what sticks out. And then for this size, I went smaller and I actually just did little strips because I thought those looked cute. Like maybe little mini bookmarks or tags. So this paper, I believe, is only 2 1/4 inches wide, and I was working on something else, but we'll use that. And then I have this just as a template. I don't know, you guys have probably seen this before, but in order to get the tag shape at the top even, I made this so I just randomly cut angles so I could have different angles for my tags at the top. And I'll show you that again. You just hold it onto your paper as a template, you snip the corner off, and then you flip your template over for the other side. And then it matches. Fun. Okay, so I've made 2 tags. And again, there are so many little pieces to decorate these with. We'll decorate a couple very quickly to tuck in our little folio. All right, and I love the color green, and I think in the fall, you know, with these oranges, it just looks really sweet. Makes me happy. So I like the idea, like I did on this one, of putting a butterfly just right at the top and then leave this for some journaling. So I'm going to do that for this one. So I'm just putting glue on a portion of the butterfly, maybe a little more. And then letting the butterfly wings stick out. And again, I could decorate this tag a lot more, but I kind of like the idea of leaving it for some writing space. Cute. Then we got the butterfly wings. And then on this one, let's see if we can just do a quick, easy collage on the front of this card too. So we have that. Let's add a circle. And I think this green kit, like I said, you can use any papers you have. You don't have to use these papers to enjoy using these ideas. But I think there's like 4 full pages of fussy cuts and little cards and tags and labels. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, I can't wait to play with that one. All right, I'm going to fold this tag over, label over, and then glue it onto my tag on the edge like this. I just sometimes like having pieces that fold over, or even just glue it on and then cut that extra piece off. I like that look where it obviously got cut off or folded over. All right, and I am just going for it. I am gonna wing it, and we're gonna lay this circle down, and then I'm gonna lay the flower down that I picked. And I am definitely a fall kind of lady. I love the fall season, and I love the pumpkins and the little trucks and the cornucopias and all of those things. But I know not everybody is super duper into fall. I'm just gonna punch a little slot so we can add a piece of ribbon. So I think this is such a nice compromise because you still get some of the fall colors. You got flowers, butterflies, and different things. So different strokes. All right, let's just add a little piece of this green ribbon. This piece is longer. I'm gonna save that for my loose closure. And we'll use this piece to top our tag. And this is just some sari silk ribbon that I have that is this really pretty green color. And I'm just gonna, hopefully I cut it long enough to just tie it at the top really simply. There we go. Very cute. All right. And then for the other pockets, let's see. I'll put little pieces of ephemera from the kit in this front pocket. Or maybe I'll put this, it sticks up enough. I'll put that in the back pocket. And then how about this label? Can go in front pocket. Like I said, this isn't the thickest cardstock, so it goes in just fine, but I had to kind of work it in there. Now I will make us, we'll use a strip of this, and I want this one to be maybe 3.5 inches tall to go into this pocket or this pocket. 1, 2, 3.5. Let's see. And I'm gonna make it by 2. And I am just tearing paper, which is again one of my favorite things to do. Let's see how that fits. That fits nicely. So for this one, I'm gonna leave it just as a rectangle, and we will just add a label to the top. And then for this one, I'll think of something. So any ephemera you want to make or that you think will look good in your pockets will work. This is just to get you started on some ideas. And hopefully when you pull whatever papers you're working with out, you'll be inspired. That definitely went in smoother with that extra layer on there, didn't it? Okay, and I need one more little tiny treasure. Let's use this fun tab. So these I use lots of different ways. You can obviously use them as tabs on your pages, like in a journal, but I sometimes like to use them to top a tag as well. Super cute, gives it a little different look. And I like doing like the whale punch shapes, those as well. Those are fun. So for this piece, I think that is a little bit wide. Let's go, just to make our life easy, let's go 2 inches wide. And let me figure out how tall I want it to be. I want it to be maybe about this tall. Let's see. 1, 2, let's make it a 2 by 3. And then we'll top it with that cute little tab. If I can find where I set it on my desk. Yep, it's like he's got a little hat on. So again, when you've got all these little pieces, you can get creative in how you want to use each of the pieces. There's lots of different things you can do. So I'm going to glue one side down. And I'm going to have to be a little careful because my tab is wider than my paper and I just added glue. I had to glue all the way to the end of the tab, so I was just careful not to punch it down. So I couldn't lift this side over to glue it. And now I'm going to glue the whole thing together. Cute. All right, and got more journaling spaces. Of course, we could decorate those more if we wanted to. But doesn't that look wonderful? Like I said, this is what I was talking about these little tuck spots can be a little loose. If you want to add a little glue up in this corner, just like that, it's going to narrow the pocket and it'll be a little more snug for you. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. But that's optional. You can just decide if you want to do that or not. All right, we have just made a super, super cute one-page wonder. And I am going to set I think that was the ribbon for that one. Here's the ribbon I left out for this one. Might be a little long. We can trim it off. Let's see how it looks with the ribbon. And then we'll call this one done. Cute. And if you like the video, I hope you will leave me a comment and tell me what you think. And if you like these papers, let Anna and Lena know how much you enjoy their creations. They're so talented, and I love all the different options. All right, that ribbon is a little fluffy, but that's okay. So this was the one I had made to show you guys, and then that's the one we made together. All right, thanks everybody. I hope you have a great day, and Anna and Elena, thanks for having me. Take care.